nigga, I swear I miss you. They don't know about the times, the words my nigga shared with me. Can't believe you let them kill you. Cause you was the one who told me always keep it on the side of me. They'll be so close, I duck and dodge the reapers. I don't ask God why, but why it's all my people. Why they had to die young, feel like I need a reason. All this pain, I'm so numb, these drugs, they help me treat it. Why they had to die.
What's up out there, everybody? This is the Loyal Shooter back once again with another mixtape review. Before we go ahead and jump off into this, I want to say thank you to everybody who has been supporting the channel. We're up to 200 subscribers. Actually, we're at 196, but I assume by the time I drop this, I'll be done got 4 more. So I appreciate everybody for boosting me up to 200 subscribers. I appreciate you guys messing with the channel. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and like and subscribe. Hit that button right there. What I am, just to give you a little backstory, is I am a videographer out of Columbia, South Carolina, and also a self-proclaimed music critic. I drop music reviews from local artists out of this city and surrounding areas. I also shoot music videos for local artists around Columbia, South Carolina and surrounding areas. And also I'm on a videography journey, and as I learn new things and pick up new things to help make my music videos better, every once in a while I'll drop a tip video or trick video that up and coming videographers and creators can use to make their music better, videos better. So if you are a creator, or you're just a fan of music out of Columbia, South Carolina, or a fan of music period, and you just want new artists to discover, go ahead and hit that like and that subscribe button so you won't miss any of the new content that comes out of the channel. So we'll go ahead and jump right into this, starting off with the artist's name. His name is YOG Leyo. That's spelled YOG Leyo. All right, and the project that we're reviewing is called Tired. All right. Now, this is actually the first time I've had privy to listen to this artist or hear about him. And just to give a little backstory about how I like to listen to music, I'm from the old school time of where you only listen to music when you heard it either on the radio, or you went to Manifest with your $20 or Best Buy or Sounds Familiar, or whatever those CD stores, I can't even remember what the name was, but any local or CD store, you went in there with your $20 and you could only buy one CD. So you took a chance looking at all of the CD covers that you saw. If you were lucky, they had it where you could scan it and preview it, but some of them didn't. So you had to go off of how it looked, and you spent your $20 on the CD, and you bought it, right? And you put it in your CD player, and this is the first time you heard this artist, the first time you heard this album, and you just had to form your own opinion because there wasn't no internet to go research it or no reviews to look at it unless you had a Source magazine that had reviewed this artist. So that's what I'm from, and that's dead now with the internet. But with this YOG Leyo album, I actually got a chance to relive that feeling because I had never heard of YOG Leyo before. In addition to that, he doesn't have much content as far as music outside of this particular album or mixtape on the internet. So when a bug was planted in my ear to listen to this, me listening to this particular album from start to finish, seeing his album cover was the same feeling that I got when I used to go into Best Buy, look at a whole bunch of different artists' albums without ever hearing them, and decide which one I'm going to spend my $20 on. So I really appreciate V12 Studios, which is a local studio out of Columbia, South Carolina, one of the most sought after studios in South Carolina, for putting me onto this album, because you rekindled a feeling that I haven't had in a very long time. But we're not going to spend a lot of time talking about my personal things about YOG Leyo and his album called mixtape called Tired. So it can be found on YouTube exclusively right now by typing in YOG Leyo. All right. I'm pretty sure they have plans of releasing it commercially on all of the streaming platforms, but right now it's there. I will leave a link to the description in a link to this particular playlist on YouTube in the description. But without further ado, we'll go ahead and start with the album cover. So the album cover features YOG Leyo. He's sitting down in front of a mountain of tires. All right, which is a visual play on the name of the project, which is called Tired. Okay, it features him looking up at the camera, dead staring at the camera. And when you look at him in the eye, it gives you the impression of a man who is tired of whatever situation he's in. His facial expression, as well as the color scheme they have going on, really captures that and conveys the feel of a man who's tired and the look of a man who's tired. And it's just a clever thing to have tires in the background of that. The color scheme seems to be black and white with a hint of, I guess, magenta that might be, or purple on the hat, and also on the on his sleeve. It features his name, YOG Leyo, in the top left-hand corner, and the title of the project is dead centered and the bottom. It's tired, TIRED. To the bottom left hand is the parental advisory sticker, and to the bottom right hand is the V12 the label logo is what I had a brain fart for a second. V12 the label logo. Now, if you're not familiar with V12, I think I said it a second ago, but V12 is a local studio out of Columbia, South Carolina, which is one of the most sought after studios in Columbia, South Carolina, offering state-of-the-art recording, mixing, mastering, as well as other artist services such as artist branding, artist development, production, videography. So if you're looking for any of that, then I can go ahead and leave a description to V12 Studios website in the leave a link rather to their website in the description. But I will go ahead and say right now that I was pleased with this particular project, and usually I save that until the end of the review. But I wanted to say that at the beginning because, again, this gave me a feel that I haven't had in a while because I haven't been privy to being able to listen to music without having outside influences already tell me what they think I should feel about it before I listen. So shout out again to V12 Studios because they're the ones who put me on this. And without further ado, we'll go ahead and jump right into the project. So the first track is called Signed Away. Now, again, this is my introduction to not only this mixtape, but also this artist. His delivery and style is like the sing-songy melodic rapping that's kind of similar to YFN Lucci, or maybe like Derez Deshawn, that sing-songy rap. This song really establishes the tone of a man who's kind of on his way up from the mud with goals of making it out of his position. And I'm gonna be honest, I've never really was the biggest fan of this delivery style, like the sing-songy YFN Lucci, Derez Deshawn type rap thing right here, but listening to this first track, it kind of hit me in a different way. Like I feel it, especially this hook. The hook is very, very infectious. I feel the struggle and the meaning of what he's saying in his voice, especially when he says, depending on this rap, the only thing that make me function. Like I felt that in my soul because, I'm also an artist as well. Bird Daddy Cool Breeze, check me out. But, I started listening to this song in the car with my son, Loyal, who this channel was named after. And by the second time I ran it back, my son was already singing along to the hook, which is a great sign. Excellent intro track to the album, does a really good job of establishing what to expect from this artist. Hopefully this album, as I was listening to it, this is what I was thinking. Hopefully the album, which what I say is real struggle street rap imagery about pain and coming up from a bad situation, loss and visions of goals of doing and being better. Hopefully this album keeps with that trend and does not disappoint going forward is what I was thinking. So the second track came in, it's called Plotting. Now, the first thing I'll say is I really, really love this beat selection. This is like my type of thing. It's deep and brooding and I like it. Leo wastes no time diving right in on this track. He keeps with the mood of like grinding and coming up, plotting on a million, to use the words he used. The guy Leo, to me, is proving himself skilled with coming up with infectious melodies. Like the melodies that he's coming up with are like when you hear them, they're really gonna, by the end of the song, you'll kind of be humming along with it. By the second or third time you hear it, you'll be singing along with it. I'm telling you. My only critique of this song is that the auto-tune on this particular song seems to be a little bit too heavy with this one. It probably won't be noticed by anybody else but me, but that's just what I hear. It's a good song though. It's up tempo. Now the next song is called Voila Magic. Now, when you look at it, it's spelled VIOLA, which looks like viola, but I guess that's just how you spell voila magic. But to me, this song did not have the depth and the layers that the last two songs had. Like his hook writing skills are still there in this song, and it is catchy as hell, but the feeling in what he's saying is not there as the previous two songs were. It's kind of like he's weaving in and out of like brag lines and then struggle lines and then street lines. Like that feeling to me is missing. I hate to call this a filler song, but to me it is, because I just don't feel what he's established on those first two songs, the depth and what he was trying to create. So, that's that. Voila Magic. Now, the next song is called Greed. The song starts with him proclaiming his love for Nene and dedicating it all to her before he comes in with a beautifully written and sung hook. Shows love and appreciation for a woman who stuck with him and what he's going to do for her. He got in and got right out on this song. It's one verse. He was out of there after that. Coming from an older hip hop head fan's ears, I hate that songs are so damn short nowadays, but I understand how it works and how it can be favorable just as much as I hold my reasons for wanting them longer. Good song, though. Solid song. Change of pace about a female. Definitely catered to the female. That's what that is. It's called Greed. So the next song is called Too Much Money. Now, with this being a relatively new artist, I wasn't really, like I said, able to find much about this artist prior, but from his social media, this song seems to be the one that's getting pushed, and for good reason. This is actually the only one that he has currently on the streaming sites, and I will leave a link in the description. But this song is definitely deserving of a visual and some marketing dollars. It's performance ready, and it's a definite single. The beat captures the sound of the Carolinas with the short, punchy 808 kicks, and Leo kind of tap dances on the piano riff beat, effortlessly spitting quotable bars. Definitely a breakout song on the mixtape. If they weren't pushing this one, they should, but I think they are. This is the one right here to push and kind of get him the shows and stuff like that. Definitely looking forward to a visual from this one. Next song is called Legend. Now, Leo sounds noticeably different on this song than he did on the previous song. It doesn't sound like something on his behalf, though. It sounds more like this change in sound consistency is coming from whoever the engineer is who recorded and mixed this track. Now, I have every possibility to be wrong, but if I had to bet, I'd bet that this song was recorded and mixed using a completely different process or engineer or studio than the previous songs. Now, it's not really a good difference from a sonic perspective. If YOG Leyo wasn't so damn skillful at creating these melodies when he spits his verses and hooks, then this song would have been an instant no-go for me off of the strength of just how it sounds underwhelmingly produced in comparison to what I've heard so far. Okay. The next song is called Checks and Deposits. Now, he comes on sounding like 2017 Future on this hook on this song. And maybe it's on purpose because he even has a line in the hook that says, "Young nigga get that dough," which is very similar and said in the same way as Future did when he said, "Young nigga move that dough." The song is hard as fuck. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's whack and, people copy everybody all day, or I ain't gonna say copy, but people what do they say? Emulate other artists' styles all day long nowadays. It's not something that's uncommon. So you really can't even call somebody out for doing it unless they're actually stealing bars. So this song is hard as fuck. It's about making money and shit. It just sounds like Future. And also this is another one verse song, but I do like this one. This is a good ass song. Checks and Deposits. The last song, again, I told you this is not that long of a project, but the last song is called Die Young. Now, this song brings back around full circle that feeling at the beginning of the tape, that depth, that struggle, that influence, that cultivated and fostered the style and content of YOG Leyo on this Tired mixtape. Leo croons about loss and the unfairness of loved ones having to die young. This is a very good song. I love the tempo. I love how it builds up. It's a one verse song, but it builds and it rides out with the beat to close it out. Great song. Probably my favorite off of the album, of the mixtape, that Die Young. I ran this back like 4 or 5 times and I added it to my playlist. Definitely something that's going to get replay value for me, as well as the whole tape. I listened to it about 2 or 3 times. Now, all in all, knowing very little about this artist, aside from this mixtape, I have to say he's gained a fan in me. I preface this by saying I'm not a big fan of the sing-songy melody Derez Deshawn rapping style, but the way that YOG Leyo is able to create such infectious melodies is a skill that is lost on many other artists that use this style. Also, his subject and content sounds like he has plenty of stories to tell. I hear the genuineness when he says that he's sick and he's tired of dealing with the shit that he's been dealing with. I hear the genuineness when he says that he's dealing with loss. I hear the realness when I hear him say that he's in the trap trying to get it out of there. I hear it, I feel it, I believe it. You see what I'm saying? He has plenty of stories to tell. I feel like he's only scratched the surface with this project. It's great to ride out to with Too Much Money probably being the breakout track to push because it's very bright and friendly. The rest of the tape is deep and brooding mood music. I love the beat selection. They definitely selected beats that are tuned in to the sound of the Carolinas with the short bounce thump 808s, but added a little bit of flair using instrumental elements to carry the tune of the beats versus some of the super light instrumentation on other beats from other artists nowadays. Now, another strong point is that a lot of artists who do this style end up putting out projects that sound where every song sounds exactly the same. And that's easy to do when you have this sing-songy auto-tune melody. But even though Leo had similar subject matter on the songs, he manages to make them all sound different while keeping a running theme. Tired of being in a fucked up position, tired of struggling, tired of loss, about to take that big step and put himself and his loved ones in a better position. You know what I'm saying? So my critiques on the production side is just make sure that the auto-tune is consistent. On some songs it was perfect, on others it was a little bit too heavy for me. There was a little extra reverb on the future sounding song I told you about. If you're going to be an auto-tune artist and do that sing-song, you got to have a consistent sound. You have to sound the same. The inconsistencies did not hurt the mixtape, but they were just noticeable to my ear. Also, if you're looking for bars and really in-depth lyrics, you won't really find them here. The depth of the tape comes from the pain that can be felt and the genuineness in the subjects that can be felt when you listen to him. The depth doesn't necessarily come from the way the words are put together. I mean, in this day and age, you don't really need that element to be a successful artist, but you do need that element to have longevity. So, there could be a little bit of progression in the writing, but again, this is a new artist, debut tape, so definitely something to look forward to in his later work. Over and all, I liked it, and it's something that I would definitely recommend to anyone who's a fan of that type of mood music where artists are talking about the struggles that they've had to deal with, talking about coming up out of the mud, talking about what you're going to do when you get on and the steps that you're taking towards it, and just telling the stories about things that you've seen and heard on your journey throughout the streets that has gotten you to where you are today. So I'm going to leave a link, like I said, in the description to this project, as well as to V12 Studios. And let me know in the comments, man, if you agree with this after you give it a listen. Let me know. If you disagree, let me know. But if you're a fan, definitely go ahead and share it. Columbus, South Carolina is full of talented artists. And if you like it, make sure you put a friend or family member on it. Now, once again, if you haven't already, go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you listening with me while we reviewed YOG Leyo's new project, Tired. But I am the Loyal Shooter, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.